So maybe you want a Peloton bike just like me, but you aren't quite sure what the best option is for you. Well, I'm going to let you know a little bit more about my journey with my spin bike, how I landed on where I did, and tell you more about all that today. Welcome back to my channel, friends. If you are new here, hello, my name is Lauren and this is Pixie Dust and Points, and it's where I share my adventures in living a healthy lifestyle with a little bit of Disney magic along the way. But today is such an exciting day because I am finally sharing with you all my journey with my spin bike. So this is so exciting for me, and it's something that I've kind of been looking at for a number of months now, basically since the beginning of 2020 when most of us started looking at spin bikes pretty seriously. But I have really been going down this and looking at different bikes and trying to figure out what I really wanted. So here's my journey with it. So first, I'll be honest, I really wanted a Peloton bike. So I started using the Peloton Digital app back in probably March, like right when we first went into staying at home, and I fell in love with that product. So I fully admit I drink the Peloton Kool-Aid. It is my favorite. It has completely transformed my relationship with activity and physical fitness, in addition to the changes I've been making with my diet. So that's been amazing and I love it. And I thought, well, I love this product. Well, I definitely want the bike too, but I'm not sure if I want to pay that price. Or rather, if I was paying a lot of money, I wanted to make sure that that was the right amount of money for that product. I just wanted to know all my options, right? So after a long time of reading about this, I kind of figured out that there's maybe 3 different buckets that people could fall in while looking for a spin bike. So the first option is, I want a spin bike and I want a spin bike now, and I just want a cheap bike, like something to get started with. The second bucket is, I want a nice quality spin bike, but I'm not quite sure that I want to pay the Peloton price, but I want to have a similar experience. And then the third is, I want a Peloton or beyond. So transparently, I fell in the middle bucket of this. So for me, if the Peloton was the right option, I wanted to wait and get the Peloton when the time was right, but maybe it wasn't the right option. So I had a lot of fun going and reading all this research, watching all the videos, doing all the things. So I'll tell you what I chose a little bit later on in the video, so you have to make sure you stay around for that. But ultimately, what I wanted to compare as I got further down in this journey for myself was the Schwinn IC4 and the Peloton bike. So let's get into cost of these 2 bikes, because this is a big factor for many people. I've gotten so many questions on Instagram from people, and they usually start with, I really want a Peloton, but I just don't want to swing that much for the cost of the bike. So let's talk about what you get with both of these 2 bikes and the cost for each of them. The Peloton Bike Basics package is $1,895 US at the time of filming this video, and that includes your bike, your delivery, and assembly of the device. So they do have packages that are above this one that include accessories like your weights or some shoes as well, but that's just the very basic level package. The Schwinn IC4 includes free shipping as well as the weights for the bike. There are options if you choose to have the bike assembled for you. Most people choose to assemble this bike on their own, as it does claim to be a pretty easy assembly. So first I want to talk about some things that I considered that I really liked about the Schwinn IC4 that stood alone on its own away from the Peloton bike. So for one, you have the option, if you so choose, to use other platforms for your workouts. So I most likely foresee myself sticking with Peloton Digital, but there are some other platforms where you can work out on, like Swift, or upcoming on Apple Health. Who knows what they're going to come out with that, which is very exciting too. So that's interchangeable. You just plug your iPhone in and go on with your life. Use whatever platforms you like. So that's a winner. The next thing that was very intriguing to me were the handlebar adjustments that you can make on the Schwinn IC4. So again, being of shorter stature, those handlebars and their location are very, very important for me, well, for anyone, but you don't always have as many options when you're on the shorter end of the spectrum on exercise equipment. So on the Schwinn IC4, you can go both up and down and forwards and backwards. So they have a bit more mobility than the Peloton handlebars. So that was something that really interested me. The next thing that was very interesting to me when just evaluating overall cost and things like that were the fees for the app. So the Peloton bike, once it's completely paid off, you have to pay, at the time of filming this video, around $40 per month for your Peloton like digital app subscription. So that can have multiple users within the app as well, which is really, really nice. However, if you do not have the bike and you are just doing a Peloton digital subscription, which is what I've been doing this entire spring, it's $12.99 per month. So my husband and I are both going to be riding. We both want to have access to our own unique metrics through this. However, we can still do this, you know, for around $25 a month continually as opposed to $40. So there will be added savings throughout the lifetime of the bike. This next one is just kind of an extra bonus. It's like we all want things when we want them, right? The delivery time on the Schwinn IC4 was super fast. So I purchased it on Amazon. I ordered it on a Wednesday and it was at my house on Monday morning. So depending upon where you purchase your bike from, like if you were to buy a Peloton, you might have to wait a little bit longer. If you were to purchase the Schwinn IC4 directly from the Schwinn website, you might wait a little bit longer too. But I was able to get it pretty quickly with Amazon Prime, which was so exciting. Back to the real important stuff though. So the next thing that I thought was really nice is that for your pedals on the Schwinn IC4, you do have the option to ride with cages or with clips. So as you start reading and learning more about spin bikes, so you'll learn that most people do like to clip into their bikes, which is something I definitely want to be doing long term. But just getting started, I am starting out in the cages in normal sneakers. So that is an option for those of you who are just getting started, not really sure where you're going to land with this as part of your fitness journey. I learned that the Schwinn IC4 and the Peloton bike were pretty comparable, but they do have some core differences. Some are in favor of the Schwinn and some are in favor of the Peloton. But I thought I would go through them today in case you are someone just like me who is comparing those two bikes and trying to make that decision for yourself. So first, again, I was trying to get the most similar experience to a Peloton bike, or at least that's what I was looking for while I was going through all this. So that was kind of my baseline comparison, was what does the Peloton have and what does this have? So first, let's get into the nitty-gritty on this bike and talk about the specifications of it. So I am a very short person. So I say 5 feet tall on a good day. I'm probably not 5 feet tall. I'm probably 4'11" and change. But the Schwinn IC4 says on their website that they can accommodate 4 foot 6 inches tall to 6 foot 6 inches tall and up to 330 pounds on this bike. On the Peloton bike, they say on their website that that bike can accommodate 4 foot 11 inches tall to 6 foot 4 inches tall and 297 pounds. So in this case, the Schwinn IC4 is the better option if you're looking for a wider range of who this bike can fit. So I know I say I'm 4'11" and like 3/4, just barely 5 feet tall. So in theory, the Peloton should work perfectly fine for me, but everyone's body is a little bit different. I have very short legs and a very normal sized torso. So in this case, I feel a little more comfortable with the Schwinn IC4. The next item that I wanted to consider was the resistance knob. So if you are looking at different types of spin bikes, you'll notice that they have different types of resistance knobs, different locations. Some use a lever instead of a knob. I just wanted to have as similar of an experience as possible, just because I've heard great things about the Peloton bike from a lot of friends who use it. So, and a lot of great things about how they say it's like easy to turn the resistance knob when they're in the middle of spinning. I've heard people say that it can be discouraging if it takes work to turn your resistance knob while you're in the middle of an intense workout, so you want that to be easy and accessible for you. So both the Schwinn IC4 and the Peloton have the resistance knob in the same spot in the middle of the bike, just underneath the handlebars. On the subject of resistance, so the Peloton bike has magnetic resistance. So that is something that I was definitely looking for in whatever spin bike I was choosing. The Schwinn IC4 does also have magnetic resistance. They both also have about a 40-pound flywheel. So a lot of people say that when you're looking for a smooth ride, you're going to want magnetic resistance and a flywheel that's around that 40 pounds. So I can say that both of those two bikes provide a very quiet ride and and a very smooth ride. So one thing that I hear from Peloton users over and over and over again is how smooth the bike ride is, and that's a big differentiator. So I wanted something that would be as close to that, if possible, if I was choosing not to get the Peloton bike. The last item is the cadence sensor. So I could spend all day talking about all the accessories that you can purchase to go along with whatever bike you choose to use, but one nice thing about the Schwinn IC4 is that it does come with a cadence sensor built into the bike, similarly to the Peloton bike. So if you were to choose a different bike that doesn't have it, you can usually buy one on Amazon and attach it yourself, but this was pre-installed on the Schwinn IC4, so it's something you don't have to worry about. I also wanted to cover just a few things that I personally considered when making my decision that might be helpful for you too, in addition to those specs and everything else that I have covered. So first, this is very important. I've never taken a spin class before, and how many of us have tried how many activities where you try it once and then you're like, whoa, I am not interested in this. I know I have, hello. So let's be honest, spinning isn't for everyone. It may or may not have been for me, so I really didn't know if I wanted to spend, $2,000 plus $40 a month for a device where I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna jive with it or not, but hopefully I would. Another thing is that before I went down this path, for myself at least, because I was considering the financial element of it, is I wanted to prove to myself that I could stick to a pretty solid workout regimen. So for me, that's something I've now been sticking with through most of 2020 consistently. It's now part of my daily habit. It's something I look forward to. I don't let it slip. It's a non-negotiable for me. So I know at this point, it is okay for me to make a financial investment in it because I'm going to be using it, but it might be something, in my mind at least, I didn't want to buy something and let that be the reason I was going to start working out. I wanted to start working out and then add things on later. So oh, did you just hear that thunder? Oh my God, it was crazy. Sorry. In that regard, I'm really glad that I started with just the Peloton Digital app, and I've been taking strength training and yoga classes and cardio classes all through the spring. Most of this year with that, it's been amazing. The next thing I considered is that I truly did want to have a similar experience to a Peloton bike. I knew that whatever bike I chose, maybe it is the Peloton, maybe it's not. But if that was the right option for me, I wanted to wait a little longer to save up some more money to then get the Peloton bike. I personally was not in the camp where I just wanted a bike right now and was willing to just get whatever I wanted to get going with it. That's different for everyone, but think that through. So, if you're not getting a bike with a heavy flywheel and you're not getting a bike with magnetic resistance and some of those other pieces, your experience might be quite a bit different. Just things to consider. And lastly, I wanted to feel that the cost difference between, holy thunder, oh my God, sorry. I wanted to feel like the cost difference between whatever I chose and the Peloton made the Peloton truly worth it. Again, so if the Peloton was worth it, then the Peloton was worth it. But if it wasn't, then that may not be my choice. So drum roll, please. Time to reveal that yes, I did get the Schwinn IC4 bike. I probably slipped a couple times when filming this and probably said something about my bike or how I got this, I don't know. But I did get the Schwinn IC4 bike. And at time of filming this video, I have had this bike for 1 whole week now, and I cannot say enough things about it. So I am beyond happy with this bike, and I'm also beyond happy still with the Peloton Digital product. So I think I'm winning in both ways. So I love the bike. It is perfect for my stature. It is a super smooth, super quiet ride. I absolutely adore it. I love the Peloton workouts. I love the instructors. I'm having so much fun. I am challenging myself physically like crazy with it. They are really hard, but I am getting stronger every day, and I'm loving that. And I do have to share, like I have to add this before I finish this video. So the biggest difference, the only thing so far that I can tell that I am not getting that a Peloton user is the leaderboard experience. And I know that there are many people who feel that the leaderboard is what makes the bike amazing for them. So if you are super competitively driven or want to really have that social aspect while you're on the bike, then the Peloton might be right for you. But for me, I know that I am a very competitive person, but at the same time, that might drive me to being unsafe on the bike sometimes or pushing myself a little bit too far. So I'm okay without that element, at least for right now. So I do the Peloton workouts through the app. I have fun with them there. I just won't see my stats compared with my friends. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, I saved $1,000 on the bike out of the box. And then also I'm saving every single month on that digital subscription. So my plan is if I really love this bike and I feel like I'm missing the leaderboard experience maybe a year and a half from now, and I'm keeping with it, then maybe I'll move on to the Peloton Bike Plus. They just came out with that option. The monitor swivels on it, so you can easily do bike boot camps, they're calling them. So you can do some time on the bike and some time on the mat on the floor without having to spin your screen or anything like that. But for now, I am over the moon with what I got. But moving on in the future, I will be sharing some more about my journey with the bike. I have an awesome video coming up where I show you my unboxing of the bike and tell you a little bit more about that part. And then I'll tell you more about my adventures in learning how to ride this thing and getting stronger with it. So if that's something that you are interested in, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And if you are new to this world, have any questions, please let me know. I would love to answer them because I believe that this is a journey that anyone can go on. It's an awesome, low impact activity that is amazing cardio and just really, really so much fun. So thank you all for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you real soon. Bye.